Welcome to the official podcast of Vienna Shadows, a secret society uncovering Vienna's hidden mysteries. Lean back and enjoy the show.
Imagine a city that's been described, and this is a literal quote, as an experimental station for the end of the world.
That's quite a tagline.
It is, isn't it? We're talking Vienna, 1920s. The empire is gone, the shadows are getting longer, and we're zooming in on one very specific, very chaotic season.
Fasching, Carnival.
Exactly. And for anyone listening, if you're picturing, a nice street fair with some donuts.
You need to throw that image out immediately.
Mm-hmm.
In the Vienna Shadows RPG, Fasching is basically a survival horror scenario. It's just dressed up in silk and velvet.
Well, that's what we're digging into today, the Mask of Chaos module. It's all built around this idea of Narrenfreiheit.
The jester's freedom.
Right. The time of year when all the social rules get thrown out the window. And for a game master running a horror game, that breakdown is the perfect sandbox.
It is. I mean, think about it. Usually, the cultists are hiding, right? They're in basements, dusty libraries.
Yeah.
You have to drag the players to the plot.
Yeah, you have to find them.
But during Fasching, they're out in the open. This 5th season is the perfect veil for them. They're doing ritual subversion right in the middle of a ballroom, and nobody even blinks because everyone is wearing a mask.
So that's our mission for this deep dive. We've got the quick start guide for Vienna Shadows right here, and we're going to unpack how you, as a GM, can take all this historical lore and just weaponize it at your table.
We're talking factions, mechanics, some really twisted scenarios.
So where do we start? The players on the board.
Let's start with the enemies, the cults of the robes, because they're basically using the carnival as a battlefield for the soul of the city.
Okay, factions. First up, the Black Robes. Their whole vibe is, well, it's intense. Chaos is liberation.
They're taking that Narrenfreiheit idea to its absolute cosmic extreme. They don't just want to party. They want to dissolve reality itself.
So they see the carnival, this topsy-turvy world, and they think, yeah, let's make that permanent.
Exactly. So if you're a GM, you describe them hiding inside the big street parades. They're using the noise and the crowds as cover for sabotage, maybe even a public sacrifice.
All to summon something called a grand jester.
Right. But the real horror, for me, is in the bestiary section. The entity they have is called the Bajazo, the Joker.
And this thing is terrifying. It's described as an entity of just deep despair. It's not the fun kind of clown.
No. The mechanic is brutal. Players see it. They have to roll a sanity check, fail, and you take 1d6 madness.
And the flavor text says it triggers suicidal thoughts. That's heavy.
It is. It's not a jump scare. It's an emotional weight that just crushes a character. But there's a physical horror bit, too. The masks.
Oh, right. The masks they make can physically bind to your face.
Yes. So imagine a player puts on a mask to blend in, and then it just won't come off. It's fusing to their skin, driving them insane.
It's a perfect body horror hook for a session. It creates instant personal stakes.
But if the black robes are all about street-level chaos, then the golden robes are the total opposite. They are the masked elite.
These are the high society types, the ones at the big masked balls like the Rudolphine Redoute.
And their doctrine is control. They are terrifying in a much more bureaucratic, institutional way.
So for them, the mask isn't about freedom, it's about subterfuge.
Exactly. They use that anonymity to conduct controlled experiments on the lower classes, and they have a tool for it. The masks of shame.
The Iron Boar mask.
Which was a real historical punishment.
Yeah.
But here they've weaponized it. They use it to silence political rivals. And the mechanic is great. A player has to roll strength to avoid getting it forced on them.
And what happens if you fail that roll?
Your charisma drops to 0.
0. That's crippling in an investigation game.
It makes you a non-entity. You can't persuade anyone. You can't get information. You're just silent. It's so thematic for them.
Okay, so that's 2. Then we have the third faction, the Crimson Robes. They feel a bit more mystical, the archivists of myth.
They are. They're obsessed with history, with memory. They want to understand what they call the primal laughter of old gods. So they focus on the Hanswurst.
The classic fool character.
Right. They see him as a vessel for ancestral knowledge. But there's a problem in their ranks, in internal conflict.
The Crimson Crack branch.
Yeah, which is a fantastic plot hook for you as a GM. The leaders are summoning entities that they can't control, and these things are consuming them.
And this is where the players can get a really cool tool. The rebels within the crimson robes give the players truth seeker masks.
And this is such a powerful visual. You put on the mask, and suddenly the ballroom, full of silk and glitter, is revealed for what it is. A sea of black, gold, and crimson robes.
That would be an amazing scene to describe.
But they're dangerous too. They have an entity called the Cursed Hanswurst, and it forces players into a deadly skit.
A deadly skit. What does that mean?
It's theatrical horror. You have to make a charisma roll. If you fail, you start losing your own personality. The role you're forced to play starts overriding who you are.
So your character literally forgets themselves and just becomes a prop in a ritual.
Chilling, isn't it? So you've got three totally different flavors of horror.
Chaos and body horror, oppression and silence, and then identity loss and myth. And it's all happening while people are waltzing.
Exactly.
Okay, let's talk about the nuts and bolts. How do you actually run this? The system is a D6 roll under.
Super streamlined. The base value for any attribute is 3. You roll a d6 and you just want to roll under your score.
Let's break down the attributes, though, because they're very specific to this setting. Strength, for instance.
Right. It's not just for punching things. The guide says you use strength to resist a riot of chaos, like getting pushed around by a mob, or, like we said, to physically break that iron mask off your face.
And intellect.
That's for recognizing that a theatrical play is actually a ritual in disguise. You're watching the Hansworth skit, and you roll intellect to realize, wait a second, those aren't just funny words. They're casting a spell.
I love that. And charisma is obviously for navigating the balls.
And then you have perception. The examples are so evocative. Spotting a hidden robe or, and this is my favorite, detail-smelling sulfur behind someone's silk mask.
Oh, that's good. It grounds it.
It does. And the environment affects your rolls. Wearing a high-quality Venetian mask makes your charisma check easier, gives you a -1.
But trying to notice something during the peak of the carnival on Rosenmontag, that's harder. The noise gives you a penalty.
The sensory overload works against you. There's one other thing in the beast theory we should mention. The Trommelweiber.
The drumming women. They aren't tied to a cult.
No, they're a neutral faction. Just these ghostly women in white drumming through the night. They're an environmental hazard. You have to make a perception check to avoid getting lured into a trance by their beat.
Okay, so we've got the factions, we've got the rules. Let's talk about putting it into action. The guide gives 3 scenario seeds. First up, the unmasking at the Hofburg.
This is your classic infiltration mission. Golden robes. Secret ritual. The middle of the quadrille dance at the most exclusive ball in Vienna.
And the players have to get in disguise. There's a charisma check to dance without tripping and drawing attention.
And drawing attention is a very bad thing here.
Yeah.
But the real twist is the Dammensband.
The little gift they give to the ladies.
Yes. Normally it's a souvenir. Here, it's an eldritch artifact that drains your sanity.
So you think you succeeded, you got the loot, but the loot is actually cursed.
It turns the reward into the threat. I love that.
Okay, seed B is grittier. The riot of the Tomcats.
Yeah, this one's in the working class district. Is the black robes. They're poisoning the Fasching scrapfen.
The carnival donuts, don't eat the donuts.
Definitely not these ones.
Yeah.
The poison causes animalistic aggression. The players need to pass a perception check to spot the tainted ones.
What's the clue?
A lilac lavender topping.
That is so specific. I love it. So they spot the purple icing, and then what?
Then it turns into a street brawl. They have to use strength to fight through a mob of workers wearing tomcat masks who are all going wild on this stuff.
It's like a zombie movie, but with angry guys in cat masks. That is peak Vienna Shadows.
And their goal is to find the cult's bakery, a great loop of investigation into action.
All right, last one. Seed C, the Library of Faces.
This is the Crimson Robes. And the setting is the Narrenturm, the Fool's Tower. It's a real place, an old circular asylum.
Oh, it's already creepy.
And they're using it to create a living archive of death masks. The players have to navigate these disorienting circular hallways, probably an intellect challenge.
And the climax, the big reveal.
It's a huge psychological gut punch.
Oh.
The players get to the center of the archive and they find their own death masks.
Oof.
Already made, already on display. It's a premonition. Their fate is already recorded.
That's a mic drop moment for a GM right there. You just end the session.
Absolutely. It tells them the cult knows what's coming. Maybe they've even planned it.
So 3 very different ways to play. Elegant infiltration, a violent street brawl, and this creeping psychological dread.
And what's great is how all of them force the players to engage with the setting. You can't just shoot your way out of a ballroom. You have to dance. You have to wear the mask.
You have to inspect the donut.
You have to inspect the donut. The culture of the city becomes the main threat.
Which plays into that identity theme we talked about.
Yeah.
Your character sheet says who you are. But the golden robes can take away your charisma. The crimson robes can overwrite your personality.
The black robes bind a mask to your face.
Yeah.
You're literally fighting to stay you in a season that demands you become someone else.
That's the core horror of it, the dissolution of self.
Yeah. And think about those truth seeker masks again. The ones the Crimson Rebels give you.
Right. You put it on to see the truth.
You see the robes, the monsters, the rituals. But to everyone else at the party, you're just another weirdo in a mask.
It creates this intense paranoia. You're the only sane one, which makes you look like the crazy one.
Or, and this is the really fun question for a GM, is the mask actually showing you the truth? Or is it just showing you what a paranoid cultist thinks is the truth?
Can you even trust the tool you're using to find the truth?
That's the hook. At the end of the day, what this lore does is it turns a festive, safe atmosphere into a paranoia-inducing survival game.
It flips the safe zone of the city on its head.
Exactly. Identity is fluid, and in a horror game, that's always dangerous. You don't know who to trust, and eventually you might not even know who you are anymore.
My favorite detail is still the lavender icing. It's such a small thing. But if your players miss that one perception check,
everything goes sideways. It's the little details that kill you.
So for all you game masters listening, here's the challenge. Take your players to Vienna, let them hear the music, let them smell the sulfur behind the silk, and then hand them a mask.
But I'll leave you with this final thought about those truth seeker masks. If your players put one on to see the truth of the cults, are they really revealing the world as it is? Or, by putting on that mask, are they just becoming part of the ritual? Are they becoming just another monster of the carnival, convinced they're the hero while they help tear it all down?
Oh, that is good. That's something to chew on. This has been the deep dive into Vienna Shadows. Go bring that experimental station for the end of the world to your table. We'll see you in the next one.
This concludes today's episode. Don't forget to rate and subscribe. Until next time, Vienna Shadows, signing off.